we're downtown. There's already people out here, and I'm so excited to talk about what we're going to see tonight with Dave Sims, Mariners broadcaster, joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Dave, how's it going?
Doing well. Another day. Rock and roll. All-Star week. Let's make it happen.
That's exactly right. Now, Dave, Bump and I were just talking about this. I know that the All-Star Game is kind of the feature of the week, but the Home Run Derby is my favorite event, and I can't wait to see Julio here. Who do you love from this field of players to advance?
I just want to be entertained. I'm not in the picking business. I mean, obviously, I would say you got to root for Julio. He's a hometown guy. So, I mean, and I saw him last year down in L.A., and he put on a fantastic show. So, I mean, he's going to be the sentimental favorite. He's going to get the biggest ovation. But all these guys, you know, it's interesting seeing the headlines about Mookie Betts. He might be sandbagging. You know, I'm the smallest guy here. I got no chance. And, you know, he can hit home runs as well as anybody. So, yeah, you know, it's entertainment, man, and it's going to be great.
Dave, you were on the call for the Swingman Classic on Friday. What was that like for you? I know it's hard. You can't really evaluate players during one game, but did you hear about any of those guys have a possible career in the future in this game? And then how was that experience like, just regardless?
Well, you asked a bunch of questions there. Here we go. First of all, it was great to see that many young blank ball players in one spot at the same time. As for looking at those guys and saying who might make it, might not make it, I don't think there was too many like lock picks there. But the purpose of the whole thing is to get these cats some exposure, you know, for that one, you know, maybe that one chance in a million. Maybe they've been overlooked and they get a chance to play. The other part that, you know, I thought Junior brought up was, again, exposure. And you can, if you don't play baseball, but you can still be in the game, you know, as a lawyer, as an economist, as a videographer, as a broadcaster, exposure to a lot of these cats that don't get that opportunity. And that was the beautiful thing about it. And I thought Seattle turned out really well here. I mean, it's not like this isn't like Atlanta, D.C., Philly, Baltimore with a humongous black population. But it was a good turnout. And the other thing that was great about the turnout, close to 10,000, it was a diverse group. The DJ got everybody fired up. The place was really rocking. It was good stuff. And then on the broadcast, I worked with Harold Reynolds. Ken Griffey Jr. was in the dugout and provided his insight, and then relaying questions from Harold. And we got great responses, and we got a chance to talk to a lot of old timers, Ralph Garr, which was just a blast, and Andre Dawson and Vince Coleman talked about his time here in Seattle. So, you know, I thought the entire engagement was really terrific. And when you look to next year, when it's going to be in Dallas, and somebody told me last night, there's like 15 HBCUs within a reasonable 4 to 5 hour drive to Dallas. They're going to fill that place next year. That's going to be unbelievable. And, you know, they got to bring in the Grambling Band or Southern Band or Texas State or somebody. Yeah. But that'll be a humongous party in addition to showcasing the guys' talents.
I feel like that's going to end up being one of the more fun events next year in Dallas, especially, right? It's like, yeah, everyone loves the Home Run Derby, but God. Hey, so I know that we're talking a lot about All-Star Week, obviously the game, the Home Run Derby, but I mean, hey, you're a Mariners broadcaster. We wanted to see how you feel about the Mariners getting a little hot here heading into the break. Dave, I was so happy to see them take 3 of 4 from Houston. What was maybe your big takeaway from this series?
Well, to be honest with you, I wasn't on the call. I was up here doing the Swingman Classic and doing the Futures game. So I was only watching from afar, but obviously the results speak for themselves, and the fact that they were to win 3 games down there against Houston. I don't care if Houston was banged up or not. Those are 3 wins you pick up and get over the 500 mark. Let's stay over the 500 mark. There's so much time in the last, month and change. It's been 2 games above 500, 2 games below. It's time for these guys, and it's not breaking any news here. Time to make a run here and consistent. I think the biggest thing is just get consistency in the offense, and that will really help turn things around, with the given that the pitching stays, at about the same level and or improve. So it's encouraging. It's exciting. And, do I think Texas is built for the route? Well, their offense is ridiculous. It's so good. Their starting pitching is hanging in there better than I anticipated. So this is going to be fun. The Angels obviously are depleted with Trout out. Ohtani, maybe not at 100%. Rendon hurt again. So the door's open.
Dave, you watched a lot of Mariners games in your day. Can you remember a staff that was as talented or even more talented than the guys that we have in our rotation today?
Well, in terms of result, the 14 team that I'll never forget Chris Young, who's now the GM at Texas. I remember seeing him in the 15 season, and he said during his off-season travels, he had more guys come up to him and say, hey, man, we did not want to face you guys because you had such a great pitching staff. They had C.Y., they had Felix, they had Iwakuma, and I think Jason Vargas was on that club. That was a staff that really had a heck of a year, again, limited offensively. In terms of stuff, this staff probably has more when you look at, what Kirby's doing, when Bryce Miller is up. I mean, their fastball, Wu's fastball, Luis Castillo, and Logan Gilbert. I mean, in terms of stuff, in terms of talent, this group might be a little bit better, certainly as a whole. And watching Logan Gilbert, getting the secondary stuff, getting the curveball over the slider over after his fastball was, I want to say it was getting lit up, but it was getting hit. The fact that he's figured that has been figured out for the time being, I mean, it's super encouraging. And so, we move forward from there.
Hey, I don't want to get too much into trade deadline talk. I mean, that's a little under a month from now, and we got the All-Star game. But while we're on the topic of starting pitching, Dave, I've been wondering, whether or not the Mariners are going to need to do something there. You may want to limit innings for Wu. Obviously, Miller's dealing with something. You don't know when Marco's going to come back. What's kind of your gauge on whether or not they do have a need there to add someone?
I like what I see in this group. I hope, I know that we want to be careful about Wu. I mean, I think the kid is super talented. He's got a big heart. He's got a good head. I want to see how that works out. I mean, he's a young kid. I know, he's never gone 2 bills, and but whatever his limit is, hopefully he gets to it successfully. I still think, like a lot of people, I would like to see, if at all possible, another bat. But there's not like there's a lot of premium bats or mid-premium,
right,
if you will, bats out there to get. So this might be the group that's got to take it to the house. And, we'll find out. I was talking to some people yesterday. I'm not going to be surprised in anything, to be honest with you. And I know how, aggressive Jerry and Justin are, and I mean that, obviously in a positive way. Positive vein, and believe me, they want to do something, anything that can help this club win.
Dave, if Julio were able to win this home run derby, what does that do for a player like him? Obviously, the kid is confident in who he is and what he does, but if he were to win something like this, what do you think that does for him?
Smile will get bigger. I mean, the kid is a terrific young guy with tremendous baseball acumen, IQ, and hopefully it would be something that would, hopefully it will not be something where he'll be swinging for the fences all the time. Just put the ball in play. I mean, he just puts the ball in play, and it's 110. So, it's gonna uplift him. I mean, how could it not? He's human. I mean, it would be a great thing, a great accomplishment, especially since I thought he got ripped off last year. The way they scored that thing last year. I mean, clearly, I was down there. That was great watching it, and I fully anticipate that he or Adolis Garcia or Randy Arozarena, I think they may leave the yard. I really do.
All right, he's Mariners broadcast. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say they're going to hit it out on Royal Brom. That's not going to surprise me at all. Not at all.
Oh, we see it.
Yep. We might be sitting here for it. Who can say? He's Mariners broadcaster Dave Sims, kind enough to join us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Thanks so much, Dave. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave.
You bet, guys. Be well. Take care.